beat him before, and I've gotten more done than any president has.
Have you spoken to members of Congress?
No, but you've been wrong about everything so far. You were wrong about 2020. You were wrong about 2022. You were going to get wiped out. Remember the red wave. You were wrong about 2023. And you said all the tough races we won them all but two. So look. We'll see.
Have you spoken?
President Biden just gave an incredible speech in Wisconsin, going on the offense, both against Donald Trump and the corporate media that wants him to get out of this race. And he goes, I'm not getting out of this race. You know what we've done for this country together? We are going to beat Donald Trump. I'm not dropping out. Democracy matters, character matters, and America recognizes what's at stake. Here is President Biden telling this crowd in Wisconsin, what kind of America do we want to be? What kind of America is that? Here, play this clip.
The issue in this election is, what kind of America do we want to be? What kind of America do we want to be? We want to be a country of anger, revenge, and retribution, or a country of hope and optimism and possibilities, as we've always been. I want a country where women have a right to make their own health care decisions. Trump wants an America where abortion is banned and women are punished. I want an America where health care is a right, not a privilege. Trump wants to throw tens of millions of people who couldn't get insurance any other way than Obamacare off of Obamacare. I want America where the very wealthy begin to pay their fair share. Trump wants to give the very wealthy an additional, last time out when he was president, he gave them a $2 trillion tax cut, creating the largest deficit any president has in one term.
Then President Biden talked about how Donald Trump led an actual insurrection against our country. And he asked the crowd, don't you think he would do that again? Here, play this clip.
But Trump's biggest lie of all is he had nothing to do with the insurrection of January 6th. We all saw with our own eyes. We saw he sent thousands to attack the Capitol. We saw police being attacked, the Capitol being ransacked, the mob hunting for Nancy Pelosi. Gallows set up to hang Mike Pence. Let me ask you something. After what Trump did on January 6th, why would anyone ever let him be near the Oval Office again?
And President Biden addressed all of his critics, everyone saying, oh, you're too old, you're too this, you're too that. He goes, I wasn't too old to create 15 million plus new jobs. I wasn't too old to shepherd this economy out of COVID into an era of prosperity. Here's what President Biden had to say. Play this clip.
And I and you are not finished yet. Now, you probably also noticed a lot of discussion about my age. I know I look 40. I keep seeing all those stories about I'm being too old. Let me say something. I was too old. I wasn't too old to create over 15 million new jobs. To make sure 21 million Americans are insured under the Affordable Care Act. To beat Big Pharma, the first one to ever do that, and lower the cost of this to $35 procedure. Was I too old to relieve student debt for nearly 5 million Americans and grow the economy? Too old to put the first black woman on the Supreme Court of the United States of America? To sign the Respect for Marriage Act? Was I too old to sign the most significant gun safety law in 30 years? To pass the biggest climate bill in the history of the world, not here, the history of the world. But then my critics say, sure, but he did all that. But that was in the past. What about now? Well, how about the 200,000 jobs we announced yesterday? So let me ask you, what do you think? You think I'm too old to restore Roe v. Wade, the law of the land? You think I'm too old to ban assault weapons again? To protect Social Security and Medicare?
And by the way, this is the President Biden we need to see. More of this, please. And the crowd was going wild, shouting President Biden's name. They were going, Joe, Joe, Joe. Here, play this clip.
Hello, Wisconsin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And here President Biden says, I am not leaving any doubt here at all. I am staying in the race. Let's be very clear. Here's what President Biden had to say. Let's play it.
We're going to go. Folks, I'm the sitting president of the United States of America in no small part because of you. Not a joke. In 2020, you came through for me. I'm the nominee of the Democratic Party. I'm the nominee of this party because millions of Democrats like you just voted for me in primaries all across America. You voted for me to be your nominee. No one else. You, the voters did that. And despite that some folks don't seem to care who you voted for, well, guess what? They're trying to push me out of the race. Well, let me say this as clearly as I can. I'm staying in the race. I'll beat Donald Trump.
President Biden then said, look, Donald Trump is a convicted felon. Donald Trump is someone who has been found liable for sexual assault. Donald Trump is someone who tried to overthrow our democracy. Let's focus on the facts, people. Here, play this clip.
Trump is a convicted felon, found guilty, 34 felonies, trying to hide hush money payments to a porn star. Another jury found Trump sexually assaulted a woman in a public place, and he's been fined $90 million for defaming her. $90 million. They've only been bankrupt about 20 times, but I don't know. This so-called great businessman owes over $400 million in fines after being convicted in New York State of business fraud. Already convicted. Fined $400 million. Donald Trump isn't just a convicted criminal. He's a one-man crime wave.
My old laundry detergent used to come in these big plastic jugs, and it never lived up to the hype. I know you know what I'm talking about. The laundry wouldn't come out as fresh as it was supposed to, and that became so frustrating. This podcast is sponsored by Laundry Sauce. Laundry Sauce created the world's best-smelling laundry detergent in simple-to-use, high-performance pods. Laundry Sauce has transformed the mundane task of doing laundry into a luxurious and exciting experience, so you don't have to dread laundry day anymore. Earlier this week, I just used the Egyptian rose pods, and my clothes smell amazing. So what's the secret behind Laundry Sauce? Well, they partnered with one of the top fragrance houses in the world, the same team behind many of your favorite designer scents. From Australian sandalwood to Egyptian rose to cyber pine, with Laundry Sauce, laundry day will never smell the same again. Plus, they stripped away all the unnecessary ingredients and artificial dyes and maximized the hardworking science-backed stain fighters and enzymes to ensure your favorite clothes come out looking brand new. I went from dreading doing laundry to legitimately being excited to do laundry because I know my clothes will come out smelling amazing. I love Laundry Sauce so much. My favorite scent is that Egyptian rose I mentioned earlier. It's sort of like a rose mixed with some warm nutmeg and clover spice. It's amazing. And I'm not going to lie, my whole house kind of smells like Laundry Sauce now, but I'm not complaining, and I know it's just me. Check out the reviews on their site. They're some of the funniest reviews you will ever read and are super authentic. They match my own experience exactly. Plus, it's not just the pods that they sell. Laundry Sauce makes scent boosters, dryer sheets, dryer balls, fabric softeners, and even candles too. Plus, if you aren't happy, send back Laundry Sauce for a full refund, no questions asked. Elevate your laundry with Laundry Sauce. Now is the time to experience Laundry Sauce. Head to laundrysauce.com/Meidas and use promo code Meidas at checkout for 15% off. That's the best offer you'll find, but you must use our code Meidas, that's MEIDAS, for 15% off your order. One last time, that's laundrysauce.com/Meidas Promo code Meidas, MEIDAS, for 15% off.
And then President Biden said, look, you're trying to go after me for mispronouncing words or stumbling over my words or stuttering. He goes, look, 5 years ago, Donald Trump was saying that the American Revolution was won by airports and airplanes and by George Washington getting the airports and airplanes and capturing them. Here, play this clip.
Folks, did you have a good 4th of July? By the way, if you wonder whether Trump has it all together, did you ever hear how he explained the 4th of July when he was president? No, I'm serious. This is true. His explanation of how America won the Revolutionary War, I'm not making this up. He said in his 4th of July speech 5 years ago, he said, George Washington's army won the revolution by taking control of the airports from the British. We talk about me misspeaking. Airports from the British in 1776. It's true, he is a stable genius, this man.
President Biden then explains, look, what this race is also about, it's about character. Character matters. Play this clip.
Ultimately, the American presidency is about character. The character of the president who holds the job. Because with the immunities the Supreme Court just talked about, it gets down to that. It gets down to that. It's about honesty. It's about the president's decency, integrity. Do they respect people? Or do they incite violence and hate? Can they honor their oath to the Constitution and uphold their oath of office? Well, I don't think it's an exaggeration to suggest Trump has failed on every one of these character tests. Every one. And what's worse, the Supreme Court has just ruled that there are virtually no limits on the power of the presidency. I know it sounds bizarre, but that's what they ruled. A frightening decision. According to an extreme majority of the Supreme Court, the president is now above the law. We just celebrated the 4th of July, saying we will not be ruled by a king. And this Supreme Court he appointed proved this new law. It's in a dangerous precedent, especially if Donald Trump has returned to the presidency. Just think about it. The second term, this next term, whomever is the president is going to appoint at least 2 new appointees. A second Trump term where there are no limits. Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor warned us about that in her dissent in that case. Here's what she said. She noted that based on a majority decision, Trump can take out his opponents, physically take them out, take bribes, lead a coup, and be immune to ever being held accountable for it if he did it while he was president, according to the Supreme Court. Where the hell are we? So he really could become a dictator that he promised to be on day one. For over 2 centuries, America's been a free democratic nation. And I'll be damned if in the year 2024, just 2 years before our 250th anniversary as a nation, I'll let Donald Trump take this away. Folks, this is not hyperbole. This race is about our freedom. It's about our democracy. It's about the very soul of America. Are we prepared to fight for that? I know I am, and I will. And folks, I have never been more optimistic about America's future because the American people are decent, good, honorable. You just remember who in God's name we are. We're the United States of America. I mean, think about it. Think about it in literal terms. And there's nothing beyond our capacity when we stand together. So let's stand together, win this election, and exile Donald Trump politically. God bless you all. May God protect our troops.
President Biden then addresses the debate and goes, look, wasn't a great performance by me, but let's remember what's at stake here, and don't judge me by how I did in 90 minutes. Play this clip.
The most important, we're going to save our democracy. probably heard, we had a little debate last week. Can't say it was my best performance.
We love it, Joe.
But ever since then, there's been a lot of speculation. What's Joe going to do? Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? What's he going to do? Well, here's my answer. I am running and going to win again.
And finally, here's Wisconsin Governor Evers, very popular governor, may I add, who's also saying, look, we are not going to allow someone who has more felony convictions than there are flavors of ice cream at Baskin-Robbins take over this country. We stand with President Biden. Here, play this clip.
We will vote to save our democracy. We will vote to make sure the guy who has more felonies than Baskin-Robbins has flavors stays the hell out of the White House.
And meanwhile, the international community gets it. Take a look at this poll that was taken in Germany of who the Germans believe are the most dangerous threats to the world. Donald Trump, 41%. Kim Jong-un, 17%. Khamenei from Iran, 8%. Putin, 8%. Xi Jinping, 7% right there. And here's, by the way, what Vice President Kamala Harris had to say. This is about saving our effing democracy, she told governors at the recent governor meeting at the White House, telling people to unite behind President Biden, rally behind President Biden. This is about our effing democracy, she says. And the stakes couldn't be higher. I'm glad President Biden is giving a powerful speech like that. Let me know what you think about that speech in the comments below. I mean, by the way, just look at this too. As Howard Foreman said, literally nobody predicted 2 years ago. Everyone thought there would be a recession either soon or sooner. Jamie Dimon predicted a recession for a full 2 years. Elon Musk talked about a Great Depression with deflation. Everyone's talking about stagflation. They were wrong because we had another jobs report that exceeded expectations once again. With jobs coming in and the job data coming in above where the projections were for yet another month. And again, President Biden creating jobs and President Biden doing what he's supposed to do. 206,000 new jobs added. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. Thanks for watching.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.